So this has been going in my mind, just kind of like I've been ruminating, it's been cooking, and now I am feeling the urge to move forward with it. So basically, moving towards podcasting with this and feeling out how this is going to work, starting on the YouTube channel first, and then once I get enough content built up, moving towards doing like Spotify or Apple Podcasts or something like that. So I wanted to share a little bit about my story, my why I'm doing this, um, what I do in general, and yeah, just share a little bit about myself, have a little bit of background about what I'm trying to do. I am a massage therapist by trade. I specialize in myofascial release, trauma-informed somatic bodywork, and also intuitive modalities. So my overall goal when I work with clients is to help them move through either chronic pain. A lot of times it's like mental emotional connections as well, and help them really reconnect with themselves through their body, through somatics. And with the intuitive side of it, kind of like helping them be aware of, things that are going to help them align with themselves a little bit more. So that is what I do professionally. So this is definitely, I would say, a passion project. When I started to manage a wellness center, by happenstance, I just kind of ended up wiggling my way into it just because I was there. And this was in 2020, I believe. And the wellness center was just starting from scratch. So I had to do a lot of like, okay, well, how do we promote this? How do we get people in here? How do we raise awareness? And one of the things that I kind of knew about networking, I never really did a whole lot of it, but it opened the door for me to begin to really network and connect with people, really start educating people on what I do, what the Wellness Center did, things like that. So that kind of started the fire, of my passion for really connecting with others, networking. Education is a big thing for me, with this, specifically with the type of work that I do. Not a lot of people know what it is, so I have to really, kind of break things down in a way that makes sense to everybody, and just, let people know before they come in and experience what I do, what it is that I do, so they know what to expect. And I think that is very true for a lot of holistic alternative wellness modalities, or people that make things, from scratch. And why is it important to have natural ingredients? Why is it important to have organic ingredients? It's almost a necessity at this point for people to be aware how to help heal their bodies on a multitude of levels, because the medical system isn't isn't at peak operation right now, and it's failed a lot of people. I've had a lot of clients that have had medical traumas. I've talked to a lot of people that are finding out that they have different sensitivities to different things. They have to have a different lifestyle, they have to have a different diet. So it's really important for us to educate people on how to take care of themselves, and it's like an empowerment thing as well, right? So educate, inspire, empower is like the three words underneath the Transformative Talks logo, and that's really what it's all about. After I had my third child, I kind of went on this whole spiritual healing journey, which I'm still on and I will always be on, because nobody's ever going to be fully healed. There's too much layers to work through, and you can't work on yourself all the time. That's an impossible thing to do. So since 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I started my spiritual healing journey that involved me, stopping working in factories and warehouses. I went back to school for massage therapy. I had no clue how I was going to do it. It was just one of those internal nudges that pushed me in that direction, and it was like leap before you look. And somehow or another, it worked out. Time flew. I absolutely loved being in school. The topics and the subjects that we were learning was just like, yes, give me more. I need all this information. So interesting. And after that, I ended up going to therapy for a little bit. I did EMDR, which is a trauma-informed mental health support, and realized I have CPTSD, which basically CPTSD is like a long form of PTSD. Yeah. Um, and so I realized that one of the reasons why I was having a lot of issues I was having is because my nervous system is just wired quite a bit differently than someone that doesn't have that or hasn't had those experiences. So I've really had to teach myself through myofascial release, mental health care, my own research, spirituality, like all these different things that I've applied for myself in my own healing journey have really brought to light the ability for people to empower themselves. One of those things like if I can do it, I can help someone up the ladder if they're in need. So that's kind of where this falls in. I can only do so much when I am helping people one on one. And that is absolutely significant and that is absolutely rewarding and amazing. And I would never ever change my desire or my ability to work with people like that. I will probably be doing massage and hands-on therapy until I am no longer physically able to do it. Um, but there's something to be said about lifting other practitioners up, helping to spotlight other people, and being able to reach a broader audience through communication versus just kind of like one-on-one hands-on therapy. So that's kind of the point where I'm at now. I'm moving more into doing those sorts of things. Like I was doing events for a while. I'm still helping with events on and off. Um, I have like a small group that I try to host, once a month. So I'm doing that on a small scale, but I would really, really like to tap into the wonderful ability of the internet and technology now to reach a broader audience. The more people that we can educate, the more people that realize that they can utilize natural methods, natural products, things like that, in order to work on their own healing journey, like the better. Like the more empowered we are as a whole, like that's what's going to create change and that's what's going to create shifts in um, the way society is kind of operating at the moment, which, to be frank, at this point, it's very obvious the places that things are broken. And almost everybody I talk to is aware of it. It's used to kind of be like swept under the rug, or like it was really easy to just ignore and be like, oh well, the doctors say this, or oh well, this is what the CDC says, or blah blah blah. And just going down that rabbit hole of like we've been indoctrinated with all of this stuff, since the day we were born, and we are learning that it's not working anymore. And we need to start honoring our bodies, our natural cycles, um, honoring nature, honoring the earth. And if we continue to exist and live the way that we have been for the past, however many hundreds of years, it's just not sustainable. And no one's going to be happy and no one's going to have a good quality of life. So this is really what this is about creating a platform for people to come on here, connect with me, us have like casual conversations, dive into some things that people maybe aren't so aware of, educate people, give people hope. That's a big thing too. It's it's really hard when you are on your own healing journey And it feels like you're alone. It feels like you're the only one experiencing what you're experiencing. You have limited resources. You don't know where to look. You don't know where to turn. You have no clue. You know you need something, but you have no clue what you need. And I've been there. um, I've been there to the point where I just felt like I was going crazy, and there was no end in sight. I was very depressed. And I ended up finding some, like myofascial release, for example, really moved me through so many things. And I'm still, working through that, uncovering layers, working on myself with myofascial release. And again, I probably will until I'm not able to anymore. And it's just amazing when you find a community or you find people that are on that same journey as you and can give you resources and help and educational tools and tools to use for yourself to make you feel A, not alone, and B, like you're in control of your situation, you're in control of your body, you're in control of your life. Because the rhetoric with the world now is almost like we don't want the masses to be in control. We want them to be dependent on the medical system. We want them to be dependent on pharmaceuticals. We want them to be dependent on the government, on all of these things. Like, it's just this wild, wild setup where it's like we just hand all of our power away. And that's not how it should be. We're each one of us is a sovereign individual. We each have our own unique abilities. We each have our own unique power to connect with ourselves, to create, to do something purposeful, and contribute to society in a way that feels good to us, not just in a way that we're told that we need to. And this is kind of what this is all about. It really lights me up. I'm really passionate about it. I get so excited when I start feeling that drive and that pull to create something new. And even if, I reach one person or 10 people or 100 people, I very much have the belief that no matter who I interact with, no matter who comes into my life or no matter whose life I come into, however brief, there's definitely a reason for it. It's like the butterfly effect. I could say one sentence that brings something into somebody's conscious awareness, or I could have somebody on and be interviewing them, and they could say something that brings something into someone's conscious awareness that just triggers something and shifts everything for them. You never know. So it's good to be open-minded, and I am definitely open to whatever this journey brings. Um, I've definitely gotten over the fear or awkwardness of being seen and speaking and being heard. I'm not definitely, you know, professionally, I'm not like the type of speaker that I have to be perfect. I'm human. I have crutch words. I say a lot. I say like sometimes. But I don't think that devalues what I'm bringing to the table either. I feel like it makes me more relatable, honestly. Um, I'm not striving for perfection. I'm striving for truth and authenticity with this. I really hope that whoever's listening to this can relate or is looking for something like this. I am really excited to start another little branch off of my journey that feels very tied in with my purpose. And I definitely hope to have some of you along for the ride. So thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.